A man thrust his bone claws into the wall, hanging suspended to survey the scene outside. To his astonishment, he saw Japanese soldiers cutting the chains on the prison cells and freeing the captive American troops. They even waved to their comrades to hold fire. Suddenly, he remembered others locked in the dungeon, so he rushed over, smashed the chains, and flung open the manhole cover, urging the men to flee quickly. But at that moment, an officer ordered him to come forward and commit suicide. Japan's defeat was inevitable, and no matter how reluctant he was, he still had to show loyalty to the emperor. He saw all the officers around him performing seppuku, grimacing and hesitating in agony. Then, American forces arrived and dropped an atomic bomb, leveling Nagasaki to the ground. Yet, because of Matsumoto's earlier act of kindness, the man from the dungeon decided to save him. As the blast wave approached, Matsumoto leaped desperately into the dungeon, and the man followed suit. A 1,000-degree inferno rushed downward, and he grabbed an iron plate to shield Matsumoto. Instantly, the air filled with the smell of searing flesh. Once everything had settled into calm, Matsumoto dared to open his eyes, only to find the man's body horribly mutilated. What shocked him even more was that the man wasn't dead. In fact, his skin was regenerating at a visible speed. This terrified Matsumoto on the spot, making him view the man who had saved his life, Logan, as a monster. Later, after the two barely managed to climb out of the dungeon, they beheld the devastated Japanese landscape. Logan had no idea that the Japanese man he saved would nearly cost him his life 70 years later, when that young man had grown old and created Edmund alloy armor to hunt him down. Logan lived in seclusion under a false identity, deep in the mountains, spending his days among wild beasts. One day, amateur hunters ventured out under the cover of night to kill a brown bear, coating their arrows with slow-acting poison to make the bear's death excruciatingly painful. How could the compassionate Logan tolerate this? He extended his claws at once and put the bear out of its misery himself. Then, Logan tracked down the boasting hunters at a local bar and showed them through his actions that they must not abuse their prey or derive pleasure from it, for justice may be delayed, but evildoers will always face retribution.